We move on. It's business time. Kate Moody joins us. Good evening to you.
Hi, Mark.
Spanish lawmakers have approved a landmark law on the so-called gig economy.
Yeah, and this is going to affect delivery companies who now have 3 months to employ their freelance drivers or riders as staff with contracts and benefits. Nearly 17,000 people who are currently treated as independent contractors by platforms like Deliveroo and Uber Eats will be affected by these changes. The law will also require more transparency about how algorithms are used to assign jobs or gigs and assess performance. The UK Supreme Court has issued a similar ruling about the status of Uber drivers, while the European Commission has begun a consultation on regulations for the bloc. Spain's Labour Minister said the legislation could set the tone for a wider debate.
No hay ningún país en el mundo que se haya atrevido a legislar sobre esta materia. Por tanto, estamos a la vanguardia y por primera vez el mundo está mirando, créanme, a España respecto de la regulación que hemos propiciado.
Let's check in on the day's trading action now. Global stocks have been weighed down by a lot of uncertainty about economic recovery, monetary policy, and inflation. Wall Street showed some signs of stabilizing today. The Nasdaq erasing an earlier 2% loss for a flat close. The Dow Jones was still off its recent record highs, down nearly 500 points at the close. A key volatility index, meanwhile, hit its highest level in 2 months. Earlier, the major European indices tumbled, the FTSE 100 losing 2.5% in London, the CAC 40 and DAX each down nearly 2% as well. The French government has launched a new campaign to lure back tourists as it begins to relax travel restrictions. It's targeting domestic travelers as well as those from neighbouring countries, including the UK and Germany. Revenues in the sector were down by 50% last year, according to France's central bank. Government aid to the industry has totaled 28 billion euros. That's about the total amount that was lost last year. That financial support is expected to continue as the recovery will be gradual. Well, tourists have begun heading back to New York City as restrictions have eased there. Sports stadiums, theaters, and restaurants are all gearing up for a post-pandemic lease of life. Luke Schrago has more.
Over a year after the coronavirus pandemic all but brought the city to its knees, New York has cause for optimism.
We feel tourism gradually starting to come back. I think with the lifting of the April 1 quarantine for domestic travelers, it's been a game changer for New York City tourism and allows us sort of to open those floodgates to welcome more of those U.S. visitors back to our city.
67 million people visited the Big Apple in 2019, a number that dropped to less than a third of that last year. While numbers are still far below pre-pandemic times, hotel occupancies ticked up to around 50% in recent weeks, and visitors are even entitled to free vaccinations.
Yeah, I feel very safe here. I was in Nashville last weekend, and they don't really believe in COVID there, apparently. So it's nice to be somewhere where masks are mandatory.
With the visitors, New York's culture and entertainment sectors getting a boost too. Sports stadiums are boosting capacity, with no restrictions for those who've been vaccinated, and things are looking up for the performing arts as well, with more outdoor space made available.
So we start today and we're going to run through September and maybe longer. We're just super excited to be able to bring the arts back, to activate the art community, and also to experience live performance with each other.
That May just tide theatre goers over until Broadway can get going again too. Major shows are planning on reopening in September and October, with time needed to spool productions back up and establish health guidelines after 18 months of closed doors.
That's all for now, Mark.
Kate, thank you very much indeed. Great to see you. Kate Moody with The Business. It's time for Focus.